Hi there, welcome to Pilates with Kendra. Today I'm going to take you through a reformer workout. It is kind of beginner intermediate level and there's options there. You will find it a challenge, so feel free just to pick your right spring loading. I will give you options on what I'm using and what you can use if you want to make things easier or harder. I am starting first off on a double leg warm up with all springs on minus my lightest. So mine are colour coded on this machine, so I've got 3 reds and a blue on. And then starting laying down on my back, placing the heels, so the fleshy part of your heels on the foot bar, relaxing down through your shoulders and chin tucked in. While we lie here, I want you to take a nice big breath and broaden to your ribs. And as you breathe out the mouth, you're going to draw up through pelvic floor, in through transverse abs, and let the ribs just naturally wrap in and down on the end of that out breath. On this next exhalation, you're going to engage the core, press into both heels and flexing the legs away, and then breathing in slowly to come back in. Exhale to press through the heels and push away. Breathe in to come back in. So just get a feel for it, just warming those legs up, driving through the heel. Make sure we get a little bit of squeeze in our glutes as we push away and breathe in to come back in. So we're evenly loading the front and the backs of the legs. We're going to stay here for another 3 and 2. 1 more. Come to halfway and hold. So 90-degree knee flexion and hip flexion. From here we're going to push out an inch and in an inch. Out an inch and in an inch. So we start to feel those quads react. Excuse me. Breathing out and in. Stay as relaxed as you can through the rest of your posture here. So let that heat build up through the thighs, keeping your pelvis nice and level. So there's that neutral alignment through your spine. You're not jamming that back hard to the carriage. You're not lifting it off. It's just staying nice and level. Last 2. And last 1. We're going to hold there, pressing into the heels, resisting like you're trying to push away but you can't. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come all the way in. From here we're working bottom half up to halfway and back in. So as you press through your heels, squeeze those glutes and release. Last 3, 2, and 1. From here, you're going to hold it halfway. We're going to pulse up and down. Let's go 10, 9, 8. So making an active press through those heels. 7, 6, 5, 4. Getting that wrap feeling through those glutes. 2, and 1. Come all the way in. From here, we're going quick back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause halfway. Go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way in. From where you are, just position yourself down a little bit from your shoulder blocks. You're going to move your feet down just a fraction, so you're just into the arch of the foot, just to the front of the heel. Take a breath in. From here, just lower your head, rest flat, tuck your chin in, imprint your back into the carriage, and then slowly tuck your tail and feed your hips up to the ceiling through a bridge. Tracking the knees straight forward at the top, take a breath in, then roll your spine gently down. 1 vertebra at a time touches down on your carriage. Once your pelvis touches down, breathe in, tuck that tail and lifting back up. Now we want to make sure that our carriage stays as tight to our stopper as we can here, and that allows that mobility through the spine. Let's go, last 2. Rolling smoothly down. And last 1. Holding at the top here. I want you to keep your weight in your heels and your carriage in as tight as you can. Keeping the knees tracking in, you're going to drop your hips down and in, squeeze, lift. Lower and lift. So now our focus is warming up the glutes, the lower back and the hamstrings, part of that posterior chain. Making sure your ribs and your hips move as one unit. We're not leaving those hips, ribs lifted and arching that back. Keep that tail tucked slightly. Let's go, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll yourself down. Nice work. Give those legs a little shake out. So we've stretched out those legs from here. Lengthen out the legs, and you're just going to jog out slowly, pressing one heel underneath the bar at a time. And that just allows the calves to stretch and relax. Let's go, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, slowly bring your carriage all the way in. We're just going to sit up and change for one red spring, or to make it a little easier, you might like to go a blue spring. So we're just going to keep the one red or the one blue spring on, all the other springs are off. Lay yourself back down again, and then grab hold of your hand straps. So go into your short loops, and then from here, raise your arms directly up to the ceiling. Bring your legs into your tabletop, so your shins are parallel to the floor, and your 90-degree knee and hip flexion here. So from here, I want you to keep your arms nice and straight and strong. Now we're going to curl up head and shoulders with a straight arm pull down. So exhale to curl up head and shoulders, drawing your belly in, then breathe into reset back. So you're going to smoothly flex that upper spine, keeping your pelvis nice and level, and your lower back's in a neutral position. So just inviting that movement into the upper body now. Try to start and stop your arms directly above your chest. And we're using from the back of the armpit to pull the movement so we're not overloading the front of the shoulder, and we're activating around that shoulder girdle. On this next one, we're going to add a single leg stretch. So we curl up and extend one leg out, then breathe in to come back in. Breathe out to curl up. Now the height you take that extended leg to is dependent on keeping your pelvis nice and level. We're going to find that point of challenge, but also that point of stability. Let's go, last 3. Now if your neck's getting tired, make sure you place the tongue on the roof of the mouth and tuck your chin in. On this next one, guys, we're going to curl up and hold. We're changing our arm lines to take the arms wide and the legs keep going. Rest your head back, lift your head up. Nice strong sweep with the arms, starting from the back of the armpit again. Let's go, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, raise the arms up. Have a little rest as and when you need to rest. Otherwise, from here, we're going to take those knees back to tabletop. You just shoot arms and legs out to that diagonal, lengthen through the legs, circle the arms wide and crunch back in. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to reset. So as you extend the legs, think about really squeezing through the thighs, extending through those legs and drawing that belly in. Let's go, last 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold here and into hundreds prep. So breathe in and breathing out. Try and keep your carriage as still as you can, pumping those arms. You can take the movement back a little by bending the knees. Think about really reaching through those fingertips, staying lifted through the chest and firing those abs. Let's go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might like to lift the legs on your inhalation and lower the legs on the exhalation. Consistent pump with those arms. And last one. And release. Bring your head down and take your straps to the floor. From where you are, you can just take hold of your shoulder blocks and rock the knees side to side just to free up that lower back. And then we're coming up to standing to work our legs. So as you sit yourself up to change your resistance, go to a really light spring. So I'm going to my lightest spring, which is my yellow. And then I'm extending my platform by placing a piece of wood there to give me a longer platform base. Okay, now I am keeping my bar up actually, and then coming up to standing. Grab yourself a couple of light weights. So you've got a couple of options here. I'm going to start with my left leg onto the carriage so that my dominant leg gets a bit of a rest to start. Now you can start with your right foot on the ball of the foot back onto your platform as we come into a lunge. So we're going to lunge that back knee down towards the springs and then rise back up. If you want a little bit more stability challenge, bring that right foot up onto the foot bar. You're going to sink down into that front leg, back knee aims down to the springs, move one side raise, and then press through that front heel to rise up. So breathing in here. Exhale to press into that heel and rise back up. So you're trying to keep everything as square as you can to face forward. Hips and chest. Little tuck of that tail to keep that length through the spine. Pressing through the heel to stand tall. So smooth and control with your range. Let's go here for another 5. 4. So try to press that foot firmly into the carriage, weight loaded in the heel to get that back of the leg active. And last one. On this next one, we're going to hold down here. Now you're going to bend your elbows into 90 degrees, tip your chest forward, bend your back knee in, then straighten the arms back as you straighten the back leg. So I'm keeping loaded into this front leg now. So now you start to feel that glute activate. Stay as steady as you can. So if you find that yellow resistance is a little too unsteady for you, just go to a heavier spring, maybe a blue instead. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Now from here, bring your dumbbells to your chest or hot plates at your chest. You're going to push out just a little bit, keeping the load into that front leg. So notice my chest is still forward, but it's sticking back. And we're going to pulse that back leg down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, feeling that burn, 2, 1, rise up, come all the way in. Nice work. From here, what I want you to do is take both feet down, come onto your platform first for safety so you're not freewheeling it there. Get rid of your dumbbells, and then from here you're going to step this left foot a little further forward, and your bottom foot comes down onto your platform now. So from here, as you drop into that lunge, you can feel that work you've just done. Now staying long through your spine, you're going to slowly exhale and lengthen out that front leg. Just a little, then coming back in. Good, so we're just extending that leg out to work the hamstrings, and then pulling in. Now just find your range that feels good for you. If that leg's feeling a little bit tight, you might just start with that little push away. Leading with the toes, pulling in with the heel. Otherwise, if you can, see if you can stretch it out a little further. And pull it in. Good. Let's go 2 more. 1 more. And coming back in. Take both knees down onto your carriage now. Now we're still on that light yellow spring. If you want something a little more supportive, change up to a blue. Taking both feet hip-width apart, hands are in the middle of your carriage, and you're going to push out to a full plank. From here, you're going to slowly crouch your knees back in, so your knees are underneath your hips. Now as you push out, I want you to bring one knee to chest. Crouch and extend. So it's like a slow mountain climber, but we're really moving slowly. Drawing that belly in. So we're feeling load in our quads, engagement strongly through that core. So you've got to really tighten through that transverse abdominals. Let's go, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your plank here, everyone. So push back through your heels, lengthen out your spine. If you want a little more challenge, push your carriage further forward. Hold 3, hold 2, hold 1, bring it all the way back in. Nice work. Take these little breathers as and when you need them while we transition. Bringing your forearms down now onto the carriage and just gently wrap your fingers around the shoulder blocks there. You're going to push out to full plank. Now you can either stay feet down on your platform or bring your feet up onto your foot bar. We're coming into a pike. So you lift your hips up to the ceiling, pull the carriage all the way in, then lengthen all the way out to your plank. Keeping your spine and your legs really long here, guys. So you can try this up onto your foot bar, extending out and lifting in. That just allows you a little bit more stretch through the back of those legs. So try for another 3. 2. And last one. Hold your plank. Press out of the forearms. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. Knee down. Bring the carriage smoothly back in. Okay, from here, guys, I want you to come on up. We're going to work the other side. Okay, so stay on that light resistance still. Grabbing hold of your dumbbells or your plates. Coming back up to work that other leg. All right, so stepping your right foot onto the carriage. Your left foot can be on the ball of the back foot or up onto that foot bar. Go where you feel steady to start. Okay, so we're going to navigate that first lunge. Sinking down into that front heel, back knee down towards the springs. One side raise. Now as we come up, guys, we're going to add a bicep curl here at the stopper. Lunging down. Squeezing back with your shoulder blades. Breathing into that lunge. Breathing out to rise and curl. Let's go for another 3. 2. So try not to move too fast. You're going to find that we've got the control of the movement. And that's going to activate all those deeper stabilizer muscles too, which is what we want, right? Okay, so keeping your back foot up onto the foot bar, or you can bring it down. From here, you're going to sink low into that supporting leg, elbows into your waist, coming into that scooter. It's a reverse scooter with the tricep work as well, squeezing the back of your upper arms, then coming back in. She said, bit of the wobbles there, had a speed bump, sink low into it. So keep that chest leaning forward, that buttock sticking back, lots of core firing here, guys. So we've really got to make sure we're working our balance, working our glutes. Last two. Last one. Dumbbells to chest here. Push out just a little bit, keep that forward lean, and pulse down for me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and carriage comes back in. Nice work. From where you are, just going to step down from your machine. Come on down, place just one blue spring on, and come off to the side. We're just going to first off just stretch out through those legs before I bring you into that extended hamstring work. And then smoothly bring the carriage in. Change for the other side, so letting your knee just drop down, your hips sink in and chest lifted, so we're opening up through the hip flexor. So you can stay on that blue spring, go back to your yellow, as we come into that reverse lunge. Okay, so from where we are, we're stepping the right foot forwards towards the shoulder blocks, sinking low into our legs, and then extending that front leg out. And just start small, tracking forward with the balls of the feet, and inwards with the heel. And as that leg gets a little more length to it, see if you can extend it out, pull the heel in. Great stretch, eh? One of my faves. And release in. Nice work. From where you are, guys, you're just going to slowly just stay on that one blue spring. Grab back for your shoulder, your straps. And you're just going to place your feet just between your shoulder blocks. So I'm sitting on my heels with my toes just flattened out. From here, roll your shoulders back and down. As we exhale, our knees are just hip width apart. You're going to raise the arms forward into a tea tray and then lower the hips back down. So making sure as you're lifting up, your body tracks as one unit. We're not leaning forwards. We're staying upright in our posture, using our hips and our glutes to do the movement to rise. Feeling out your quads. Our arms reach forward just level with our chest. Go for another 3, 2. We're going to hold this one up here without sitting back down into that hip lift. We're going to reach the arms forward. 5, 4, 3. Keeping the shoulders back and down. Tuck up your tail, guys. 2 and 1. You're going to open the arms to the diagonal. Then you're going to pull the elbows into your waist, to the back of your waist, and send the arms out. Just level the shoulders. In, exhale. So we're starting to hit into the shoulders a little more now, and into your biceps. Making sure the back of the head is stacked on top of those shoulders. Give me another 5, 4, 3, 2, we're going to hold at arm's length, little micro bend in those elbows and work that body at top range for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just let your arms come all the way back, give them a little stretch, and then from here, guys, you're going to sit your butt to your heels, bring your arms into a goalpost position, Open slightly forward. Now I'm going to lean my chest forward so that brings the elbows on that upward diagonal. And then just hover your hips just off your heels. From here, tucking that tail, keeping the strength in your core, you'll reach the arms forward and pull back. So think about your shoulder placement here, flat against your rib cage. As we fight the resistance, working through the front of the shoulder. Give me another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending those elbows to 90 degrees. We're coming into a squeeze here and open out. So like a peak deck, you're trying to keep the carriage as still as you can here. So we're just working into that shoulder stability as we're moving. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold. Little micro pulses up to the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just a sneaky little burn there. Nice work, guys. Okay, so from here, you're just going to get rid of your straps for a moment. And then I'd like you just to set yourself up on one blue spring for support or a yellow spring for challenge. Set your forearm down onto your platform. Take your top foot over onto your front headrest. And then your bottom foot back onto that back headrest. From here, we're going to lift those hips and hold our side plank here. So you want to think about a nice straight line through the middle of your body. You're going to lift your hips up and down. Up, bringing your carriage in and out. In and out. In and out. Good work. Squeezing those thighs together, creating that strength through your pelvis. Give me another 5, 4, 3, 2. On this next one, you're going to hold it here. Bend those knees in and press out. 10, and 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold steady. 5, 4. Draw the belly in. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And knees down, come on over. So as you transition, I want your hands nice and wide on your foot bar, feet up against your shoulder blocks, knees anchored down, hips forward. 1 press up here. So I want your hands and elbows going nice and wide. You can come up onto your toes for a stronger option, a harder option, or you can go in between, feet at the front of the carriage and extend that carriage back for an in-between option. We press 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, aiming that chest straight above the bar, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage all the way in. Nice work. Okay, setting that bottom forearm down to do the other side of your side planks. So you've got your top foot forward and your bottom foot back, and then you're going to push out to your full plank. From here, we're lifting the hips up, the carriage comes in and out. 2. Try and align your chest and your hips in a straight line. 5, 6, 7, 8, not a big move guys, 9, and 10, we hold here, knees tuck in and push back, 10, 9, 8, 7, pressing out of that forearm, turning your chest square on, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that carriage all the way in from where you are. You're going to come into a child's pose. Just lift your hips in the air, off your heels, and drop your chest down to the springs. And then from here, I want you to thread that side you've just worked that arm down to the bottom of your foot bar and let that armpit just drop down. Just stretching through that side body. And then stretching wide. Bring that arm down. And then from here, guys, you're going to bring the carriage all the way in. Place a heavier spring on, so I'm going to red and a blue, just to keep your carriage nice and still. From here, you're going to tuck your toes under, and then just rise up. From here, set your feet nice and wide, so your carriage is not going to move, okay? You're going to pull back on your foot bar. Just make sure it's anchored in position. Pull back until we come into a stretch. Setting your hips back, just feel that stretch around where you need to. Lower back, hamstrings, shoulders, lats. And then from here, keeping that pull on the arms, I want you to push your butt back and sit your butt down into like a Hindi squat. So your butt is just between the shoulder blocks there. You can hold the stretch and breathe into where you're tight, or you might like to push into the feet and come back up again. And sitting back down. You can make it an active stretch or static, whatever works for you. Lifting up, extend back. And slowly down. Sometimes it's nice to hold at the top. Get that stretch more around your chest and lats. Let the head hang. And then as you sit down, let's hold this one here. Take your hand to the center of your foot bar and then turn and release back. Come back to the center, other side. And then from here, just bow the head, press into the feet and curl yourself up. Set your feet parallel and just be careful because you have only your light resistance still on there. Just let go of your foot bar and just hang forward into your forward fold position. From here, drawing the belly in, you're going to slowly restack yourself to stand. Roll those shoulders back, press the palms back to the wall behind you, open your chest, turn your head to the right and to the left, and again. Roll your shoulders, and you're done for today. Hope you enjoyed that little workout. Nice and simple, challenging moves in there for some. So take that and hopefully you can use it as suits you. Enjoy, guys.